Good evening, good afternoon. This is Terri Wisdom with Harlem Network News and coming to you live. And we are fired up about the Harlem Fine Arts Show that's coming up on Friday. Counting down the hours. I think if you go to their website, hfas.org or whatever, you go there and I know it's counting down. So let's get ready. But we have one of our premier artists in the person of Aleathia Brown. And Aleathia, I know you're participating in the 17th year of the Harlem Fine Arts Show. And you shared that you have been a part of it through many evolutions. But just share with us, tell us a little bit about what you're doing for the Harlem Fine Art Show, how you're showing. Are you in any of the art talks? And then let us know what you got going on right here, right now. And it's Black History Month. And, you know, we celebrate Black History all year long,
It's
but this is significant. So
yeah,
let's hear from you. And, you know, just in this world, you being one of the sisters in it, we want to hear your take and your slant.
awesome,
So thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you for having me. So I have many layers happening with regards to the Harlem Fine Arts Show. Being awarded with the Harlem Arts Alliance New Heritage Theater, their collaboration for the contributions that I've been making with the organization. And for many years, I was the visual arts coordinator with Harlem Arts Alliance. So I've done a lot of behind the scenes things and developing and creating other pathways for fellow visual artists like myself. So I'm being awarded at the Harlem Fine Arts Show for some of that part of my journey. Because on and off the canvas, I'm always creating as well. And in addition to that, I have currently an exhibition, a solo exhibition at the Bronx Library Center off of Fordham Road. So
Mhm.
it's a solo exhibition and it's color filled messages and symbols and textures of my work on a smaller scale. I have a body of work there. And actually, when this show opens up Friday with the Harlem Fine Arts Show, I'll actually be at the library doing an interactive art workshop with adults. I have
Okay,
coloring books, so I have the
I
pages
love it.
from that I'm giving them a story about the Underground Railroad. So I have symbols and images from the Underground Railroad messages that they're going to add and incorporate to the pages from that. So I'll be having some people come and see the exhibit on one floor and then come into the workshop with me for that. And then I'll come back to the Harlem Fine Arts Show over the rest of the weekend to
Okay.
have my work on display. So I have some of my art pieces that will be on display at the Harlem Fine Arts Show. Some works on burlap and paper. So I'll be with the Harlem Arts Alliance booth, and you'll be able to see and talk with me about the work and the journey of the work that I have there, because everything I do tells a story. And then because, like you said, I feel as though Black history is 365 because it's the contributions that we make. So I
Yes.
actually am in the midst of working on a group exhibition that I'm going to be doing in South Carolina in Orangeburg.
Mhm.
So I
Oh,
actually have to travel there. The work is there now. I shipped it last week. So Ia is the name of the exhibition, and it's about women and the warriorship and the sisterhood. So this will be the first time I get to show where part of my roots are because I'm Harlem and Southern all rolled up into one. My father's from Charleston, so an hour from
okay.
where I spent my summers as a child. For the
Mm.
first time, I get to show my work in the Southern quarter. So that's actually happening while I'm talking to you. All these
All right.
parts are
Okay.
coming together. So in terms of like all these layers, I'm always a conversation away from telling other stories about how we as women are moving through this space in a whole different way on a different level now with technology, with having access to platforms in ways we never did before. It's grown to a whole nother level and it's still a long way to go. But the fact that you and I can be in this conversation is already showing how
Yeah.
different the space has become. So as a visual artist, I'm a teaching artist, I am a performing artist. So some of my work which one of the pieces that's going to be in this show at the Harlem Fine Arts Show is live art. I paint on stage while musicians and poets perform. So whatever is happening in that essence of that moment, I am not controlling it. I'm in a surrender of whatever is happening, and sound and movement and color. So the piece that I was showing, meditation, is a movement meditation. So that's why the figure looks a little distorted. And you will be able to see that in the piece that I'll show at this weekend.
So you'll be showing, and this is Harlem Network News, and I'm here with our artist, living art, Aleathia Brown. And the piece that you're going to show, this was conceived in a live art setting, but you're showing it at this art show?
As a frame piece, yeah.
Okay, so that's quite amazing. I love the live art experience. It's always interesting to see what comes and what creates, you know. It always makes me think it's a different aspect, but it always makes me think of our one of our artists or shadow that we see everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Create you know, the figurines on black, you know, and that's a whole nother level of live art. So it's interesting to hear you speaking about that, and congratulations on your award. Well done, well deserved. And you could just share with our audience, what is the Harlem Arts Alliance and what does it do? How can we get involved with it? You know, I know Mr. Vosa Rivers is a great part of the circle. So if you could just share a little bit and, you know, what people can do, what kind of artists can join it. So thank you.
So Harlem Arts Alliance is a membership organization that is kind of like an incubator for the visual artists at different stages of their career, from visual to performing artists. And then you have organizations and art organizations that also facilitate programs like what we're doing inside of the Harlem Fine Arts Show, with having talks and these other layers to the connections of how the arts move, because there's so many different parts that people don't recognize or realize that it takes to really move all of these different parts together. So with the Harlem Arts Alliance, we have a town hall meeting that's every month where members and organizations share what's coming up, or if they have an artist call for different mediums, and it can be anything from actors to visual artists, you name it, films and other aspects of the arts. Administratively, there are things that we need to make sure stay in place, like advocacy. So we have an advocacy month in October. Sometimes it will happen where we're trying to figure out how to get funding for things that move the needle forward. So there's so many different layers on the business end, as well as on the aesthetic or the entertainment. And so honing in on those things are the other treasures that come with being in an organization, that we can sort of flesh out what it is that we're needing to do, or the things that are not being addressed, or the things that we want others to be invited in. So an individual, like a lay person, for instance, might want to find out about Harlem Arts Alliance because there are all kinds of programs and events that are going on within the individuals too. So sometimes we'll make announcements about places we want to fill seats. So like, for instance, I'm a teaching artist, so I have been doing e-blasts with the Harlem Arts Alliance about the workshops that I'm doing. So their network and my network will overlap to announce those things to the public so that they can know what things to attend in those other spaces.
So collaboration, collectivity, unity, you know, all of the Kwanzaa principles that we practice all along, collective work and responsibility and creativity. It's all right here. And certainly in this 2025, Harlem Network News is really going to endeavor to jump in there and work collectively with the Harlem Arts Alliance. I think it's important. And as you said, as we're sitting here on this, you know, I have been a media person working at all the networks for many years, being a Harlem entrepreneur. And I'm Terri Wisdom. This is Harlem Network News. But one of the things that COVID did is it made us all get like kind of a PhD in technology, and we had to get it quick. and we have
Yes.
to get it fast. And
Yes.
because we are creative people,
Mm-hmm.
we are figuring out and pushing the limits
Yes.
of what you can do with these platforms. And
Mm-hmm.
the wonderful thing about the technology platforms is in the past, we would need to have a big cameras, studios,
Right.
lots of money, but we're taking what we have and we're kind of getting creative with it. And I
Right.
think that that's one of the areas where I want to work together collaboratively with some other people because I know the traditional like technology, film, editing, this, that, and the other. But in this new media, this new venue, even with
Mm-hmm.
the aspects of AI, you
Yes.
know, and us honing and tooling that
Yes.
for us. And we
Mm-hmm.
actually have a partner, somebody we're partnering with. I'm not going to make the announcement here and now, but it's for us. So
Yes.
I think that's what we've got to do. And you know, it's a creative thing. Even the background, I just changed the whole background
Um,
for Harlem Network News, and I was able to, you know, tinker with it, get creative with it. But I think if we put our heads together, because we are the creators, you know,
exactly.
we are the creators. So with this technology and the creativity that we have, we're going to be able to take it to other limits that it hasn't gone. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for the work you're doing, and
Thank
congratulations. And I know Rosa Rivers, who we're going to talk with, is celebrating the 60 years, you know,
Yes.
of the theater group and all of the comings together. So here we are, and the message is come out, support. You're going
Yes.
to see people you haven't known forever, you know, or seen. There's going to be food and music and refreshments and
Very festive.
it's
Yeah.
it's all going to be there. And the
Mm-hmm.
important thing is to support, especially now with all of the things that are going on, DEI and this and the other. And DEI, let's be real clear, we're at the bottom of the DEI list. They're acting like it's us, but it's really mainly white women, and then it goes down the pecking order. So
Exactly.
it's not about that, but it is now about us reinventing ourselves, supporting our businesses,
Yeah.
keeping our dollars circling. So the message for this is to come and support the Harlem Fine Art Show. The message for this is to come and buy Black art. You know, I mean, if you don't have the home money, maybe some of the people are taking payment plans, or
Yeah.
there's
We always do. Yeah.
something that you can get. Tell a
Yeah.
friend to tell a friend,
Yeah.
because this is how we show up. This
Yeah.
is how we will move forward. And I want to just continue to give a shout out to our warrior leader, CEO, Dion Clark, who has pushed through for 17 years. And this is
Right.
the third year at this amazing venue at the
Yeah.
Glass House. So
Yeah.
we're everywhere. It is
Yeah.
the Harlem Fine Arts, but as James Baldwin said, so goes Harlem, so goes the world. So you heard it here on Harlem Network News, and we're the voice and drumbeat of Harlem. So thank you, Alethea.
Thank
Okay,
you. Thank
and
you for
see you
having
there.
me.
See you there.
To be
Okay,
continued.
we got this. Take care, my dear. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All right.